let me talk about that is because I didn't mention this yesterday. Well, the form we're working on is this one. So let me come back to my demo form. I will touch on this banner later. If I go to Drive, I want to quickly open my Drive and show you where the forms are being created currently and how to change the location of the form. So here is my Drive. All right, I believe you all saw the way I got to my Drive. Let me show you again very quickly, just in case some people missed out on that. I want to open my Drive. When I say Drive, I mean Google Drive. I'm not talking about my Drive in my local computer or on my phone. So if you're using your phone, there is this Drive icon. I believe if you are using an Android phone, when you come to this place, go back to the Google Apps. You see the Drive. This is the icon. This is the Drive icon. It's in any Android phone that you purchase, because Google has a partnership with Android. Mostly you will find Android Google Apps installed on Android phone. So that Drive is where you can store your documents. In fact, at the end of this training, you would learn that it's good to always back up your files in drives like this. Okay, for all my files, I have them stored in the Drive. So if anything should happen to your phone or to your laptop, God forbid, but of course anything can happen, your documents are saved. Okay, all you need to access your document is your email address and your password. That is all you need to remember. Once you can remember the email address which you have stored that document, you can easily access them. Back to the Drive conversation. All right, so this is my Drive, and I am currently on the home section of my Drive, but I want to go to my Drive, the folder called my Drive. When you click on this folder, you'll find the forms that we've created. So these are different documents that I've created so far that are on my Drive. When I scroll down, I should see the Google form that I created. I think that form should not be so far. Or let me check. Yeah, it should be on my Drive. Let me see. Just give me a minute to locate it. So, well, if for me not to keep searching and searching, I can do here, click on type. What type of file am I looking for? I'm looking for forms. So when I click on forms, so this is a way to easily search for whatever I'm looking for. So once I select forms, you can see that the demo form that we created is here on my Drive. And the other one that I created, I called practice class. This is it here, practice class, here on my Drive, here on my Drive. Now, these two forms that I have created directly on my Drive, they are not saved in any folder. It is just in my Drive folder. So as a data professional, it's very important that you are very organized. You don't put your things anyhow. You don't create documents and drop them anyhow. You put them in folders in a well-organized manner. So for this class, for this training, I will create a folder for this training. Already I have one, but I want to create another one for the purpose of teaching how to do that. And everything we'll be creating, the Google Forms, the Google Sheets, they will all be in the folder. Please pay attention now, because once I do this, I expect you to replicate the same thing in your device. So the first thing I'm going to do is, so I want to move this demo form and the practice form that I just created into the folder I'm about to create. So I'll be creating the folder inside this Drive. Okay, so I have clicked on my Drive again. There are some folders I have created here that has some documents in them. But for this training, I'll right click. So there are two ways to create a folder in your Drive, your Google Drive, two methods. It is either you right click on an empty area. You see where my arrow is. If you can see my arrow, please give me thumbs up. If you can see my arrow, give me thumbs up. Good. So I can either right click here. When I do, you'll find a pop-up menu of some options. New folder, file upload, upload folder or folder upload, Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Slides, Google Vids, Google Forms, and more. You can create any of these files directly from your Drive by just right-clicking on an empty area. But I don't intend to create a file. Instead, I want to create a folder. So I'm going to select the first option, new folder. Once I do that, you will find the new folder dialog box pop up, expecting me to rename the untitled folder. Right now, if I just click on create, the folder that will be created will be called untitled. But I don't want it to be called untitled folder. I want to give it a name. So I will give it data analytics training with Fupri plus Eva. All right, this is what I want to call my folder. And then I click on create. So once I do that, you'll find the folder created already. So this is the folder here. It is already created and it's ready to accept any file or any additional folder that I intend to put in it. If you understand the process I just explained about creating folders in the drive, can you give me a reaction? If you want me to repeat myself, raise your hand, or if you have a question, raise your hand, I will take your question. Oh, beautiful. So that means everybody understands this process. Good. That is one. Remember I said there are two methods, right? That is one method. The other method is to come over to the top left corner. Do you see the new icon? Click on new, and you find the same options that you saw earlier when I did right click. Does that make sense? So any of those methods will work. All right, now we've created the folder. Let me open the folder. I'll double click, double tap on my mouse, and then the folder is opened. Nothing is here. It says drop files here or use the new button because I don't have anything in the folder at this moment. Am I communicating? Now, how do we go ahead? I have also form, the form we created yesterday. Okay. Again, there are different ways of adding files into a folder. So I'll show you a couple of methods, right? The first one is the one I'm going to do right away. What I'm going to do right away. I'm coming. So right from the opened file, right from the opened document, which is this form. So the form is an open file, right? I want to move it from here into the folder I just created. So pay attention, everybody. This is how I'm going to do it. I'll come to this move to folder icon you see here. I believe you can all see move to folder icon, right? Can you all see that icon? Yeah, beautiful. You see now I can see that Ruth is responding to me, even if she doesn't give me a thumbs up because she's nodding her head. And that is what I would love to see with everyone. If I can see your faces, that will really make sense. So I'll click on this move to folder. And when I do that, there's a pop-up. My pop-up is loading now. It will show me the different locations I have, the different folders I have created already in my drive. As you can see, we have data analytics training with Fupri. We have the Fupri training. Remember I said I have created a folder earlier. That is the folder I created for Fupri, but right now I will not touch that folder. Then we have data consultancy. We have machine learning, CVE. We have CSS, CCS Unsuk workshop. This was the workshop we had in Unsuk. We had Moreni KG file. So these are different folders that exist in this. There are more folders, right? But it's just showing the top most recent ones. Okay. Now, amongst the list of folders that we have here, the one I want to move my file to is at the top, data analytics training. All right. So this is how to do it. I'll then come here and point my arrow. Do not click. Just point your arrow. When you point your arrow, you find this option, move, or you click on this arrow to view contents. But what I intend to do is to move. So I want to move that form into this folder. So all I need to do is to click on move. So once I click on move, already it says demo form has been moved from my drive to data analytics training with Fupri plus Miva. Do I want to undo my action or I want to just dismiss so that it is moved permanently? Yes, I want it to be moved permanently. Guys, if you understand me, give me thumbs up, please. Give me thumbs up. Beautiful. Now, let us confirm that indeed the file has been moved to that folder. I will go back to the folder, which is this guy, and then this is it right here. You can see the folder. We are already in the folder. I can go out of the folder by clicking on my drive, and I'm back to my drive where you find other folders. When I double tap here, it opens up and you find the demo form in that folder now. So this is how to organize your files. Make sure you create folder for different tasks or different things you're doing and keep your files in the folder. So whatever other files we'll be creating throughout this training, we'll dump them in that folder. Beautiful. So let's get back to business. I was introducing us to this. So I spoke about star yesterday. I say this is just to star your documents so that you can find them easily whenever you're looking for them. And then we spoke about customized theme. This is how to add the header to your form. You can change the header font, the question font, and the text font. You can choose an image right here to add as header to your form. So you can choose from any of the options you have here. You can also upload from your drive, from your computer. For instance, like the one we are doing right now, like for Frupri, we have a design for Frupri. So let's say I don't want to put any of the templates that Google has provided for me. I want to upload a particular design for Frupri. What I would do is I'll come over to Olatunji, please send it to Tosi. So I can see a message now. So what I can do is I'll come over to the choose the image. Then I'll click on upload. I need everybody's attention, please. At this point, I will share my entire screen so that you will see the other pop-up window that will be showing. Then I'll come back to sharing just a window. Okay, so I'm sharing my entire screen now. So you click on where am I? Where am I? Okay, here. So when you click on upload, select browse. Already you must have designed the file, the image you want to upload, right? Then you can search for whatever you want to upload. I think the one I want to upload should be on my desktop. I can search for it here. Yeah, beautiful. So this is what I would love to upload. This is the design that we made for this program. I select the flyer. The flyer is not the size of the banner. Okay, so I will always advise that you use the size of the banner for a banner design. But because I just want to use a part of the flyer, as my banner, I just go ahead and use this for now. Select the file, the image you want to upload, click on open. Once you do that, it will load and get the image open. And here we have it. Here we have it. So you have, let me zoom in a little bit. I believe everyone can see clearly here. Let me go back to sharing just a window because I love to stay on my Google Meet while I'm talking so that I can see people's reaction on their faces. Give me a minute. Let me go back to sharing just a window. All right. So I'm presenting a window now. Confirm you can see my screen, please. Good. All right. Perfect. Now, of this window that is being presented on my screen, you see the design is bigger and is longer, right? But there is just this rectangular shape. So it is only the design that is within that area of the rectangular shape that will appear on my banner. So I'll have to be creative enough to select the parts that I need people to see. Okay. So how do I do that? I will do that by dragging this rectangle to the part I want people to see. So if I want people to see from present to the guy's face and a 4-week workshop, I move my rectangle to that point. And then when I do that, I'll go ahead and click on done. When I click on done, Google Form will process it for me and it's going to give me that banner as the design. So every other thing is cut out. Do you see that? So whatever portion of your design, you can move to crop other parts out. Again, like I said, it is advisable to create a banner size design. This particular design was not meant for this Google banner. That place is called Google banner or header. It was meant for just a flyer. So, but if you want to do this, create a banner head design. I know it's not everyone here that can design, but I'll show you a tool for designing because as a data analyst, you must be very creative. It's not about data. You must know how to design. You must know front end. You must know back end. So data analyst is going to be a serious data analyst and a guru for that matter. You must be very creative in your own way. Okay. So I will quickly digress a little bit because there's going to be an assignment against next week. That's the reason why I'm taking my time to do all of this. But when you come next week, the person with the best design of Google Forms will get a gift from me. So I want to show you how to make a design installing any tool. I know some of you must have heard of Canva before. So I'll quickly show you how to use Canva to make quick design for your banner of your form. All right. Again, it's very important that you make your form look very professional before putting it out for people to fill. I'll show you how to do that really quick. So Canva is a free website that is there that people can use for design. So this is it here, Canva. Just type Canva on, and then you have it here, Canva. When I go to Canva Visual Suite for everyone, it says welcome back. That's because I think I have signed into Canva before. Let me just go ahead and log in. If I have an account, you're signing in as in, yes, I want to sign in with that email. Let me just accept all cookies for now. I don't want to begin to manage cookies. All right, so Canva will open up now. Want to log in, continue, please. Yes, please. No, cancel. I don't want to waste time. Skip for now. Okay. So this is my Canva account, right? It's still loading. Now the good thing is that whether you're using a phone or you're using a computer, you can have access to Canva. So this is my Canva account, and these are a few things that we have designed here on this account before. Now, if I want to design a banner for my Google form, watch this. In the search bar, I'll search for banner. When I click on banner, banner design. So this is what you want to design today. Banner design. Let me see if I will have any. Okay, no, this is giving me from my designs. This is trying to search in my own design. I don't want it to search in my design. I want it to search from a template from templates. So I'm going to click on templates at the left side of my screen. Can you see templates here? Left side of my screen. So I'll go ahead and type banner again, and let's see. I'll say Google Forms banner. Google Form banner. And let's see the different designs that this will bring. All right, beautiful. So you can see there are already designed templates that you can pick from. Anyone here. Okay, so you are looking out for the free ones. Anyone you see this crown icon at the bottom right corner, it is premium design, which means that if you choose that design, it will have what's it called again? Canva watermark everywhere on the design. So you don't want to choose a premium design except you have money to pay for it. So I'm looking for a free design. This one, for instance, is a free design. I can click on it to use, then to give me an option. Do I want to customize this template? I'll say yes. Okay, there are other options here from which you can click from. I think I prefer this one. Let me select this one. Join our team. This is fantastic. So click on customize this design. Once the design is up, you can then go ahead. Let's wait for a minute. So this is the design. This is fine. So you can customize it to your own design. Here, I want to change this text to Datafied. I'll change it to Datafied. I want to change this logo to Datafied logo. I'll delete this one. Then I'm going to upload Datafied's logo from my computer. Or I already have Datafied's logo. I'll click on upload files. I'm taking this very fast because this is not part of my plan. But I just need to show us this one because when I say design a form, I don't want you to design just a random form. So I'm going to select the Datafied logo. I know you didn't see my pop-up window, but it's fine. I've selected the Datafied's logo into this Canva. Once it loads, I'll click on it. The logo will appear here. I can resize the logo and move it to the position I want it to be. All right. So this is the Datafied's logo. Now, I want this design to carry Datafied's color. You know, Datafied's color is navy blue and orange, right? That is Datafied's color. But the color of the design is navy blue, like dark blue, sky blue, and all. So this is how to change this design to have the Datafied design. Please watch this very closely. I'm going to right-click on Datafied's color and Datafied's logo. Right-click. It's going to give you all these options. Scroll down and say, apply colors to page. Click on apply colors to page, and voila, we have it already. So with that single click, it has change the design to the datafied column. Do you see that now? And then I can change whatever text you want to change. Let's say this is datafied or data analytics training and whatever you want to call it. Okay, go ahead and add the text, make your changes and all. Become a data analyst in 4 weeks. All right, so I'm done with my designs. Let's assume that I'm done with my design and I want to import it to my form. So watch how I'm going to achieve this quickly. I'll go ahead and click on share. You see the share icon in the top right corner. Then select the download button. It says that suggested that you should download data is, how clean or how messed your data looks. You might spend a lot of time on that face number. Okay. Now, phone number should be short answer. All right, short answer. But guess what? Anyone can enter anything in the phone number field. Somebody can just come and type a text in the phone number field, and that can be really annoying. It can be very, very annoying to see people just putting things randomly in a field that shouldn't be a text. Something that's supposed to be numbers, and somebody is entering text. And now someone can also decide to come and put in just any type of number that's not necessarily a phone number. Now you can actually control what should be entered in any of these fields. There is something called data validation from the back end of Google Fox. Let's start with the phone number angle. I need everybody to stay with me, please. Watch my arrow. When you come to this, let's say you say phone number, you want to, okay, people to enter their phone number in a certain way. Please, you put it under description. Please enter your number, enter your phone number with your country code. PG. Plus 2347013623317. So that is what description is meant for. All right. But don't think that, oh, I want to create this survey and I'm sending it within the school environment. So I expect everybody in the school environment to be educated and to have sense. It is not everybody that have common sense. So even if you enter this description, you have written it, you say phone number, right? And then you wrote simple English. please enter your phone number with your country code, and you put an example again, you will still find a lot of people that will put in rubbish at the end of the day. So how do you ensure that they don't have the ability to just enter rubbish for you in your data collection phase? That is step 2. So this is step 1, validation, to enter a description, a clear description of what is expected of the responders. Now, the second point is, you come back here, you see response validation. Click on response validation. And when you select response validation, you will find this, come back under this short answer, you see number. If you want the person to enter just number that is greater than certain number, greater than 0, and then you can put a custom message, they enter a wrong number. Or you want them to enter a number that is equal to, or less than, or equal to, or less than, or equal to, or not equal to, between. These are different range. But our case now, which is phone number, does not fall in this category. Because phone number, as it were, is not necessarily number. It's not necessarily numeric in the sense, in a larger sense. It's just identifier, to be able to identify you and reach you, like an address. So it's not going to be number. You choose text, or you choose regular expression. I think regular expression is the best for this case. Choose regular expression. In short, it is called regex. So regular expression is a way that gives you a flexibility of putting validation to any type of question. Any type of question, you can use regular expression. Now, I'm going to choose regular expression. And here, I will choose matches. We have contains, doesn't contain, matches, doesn't match. I'm going to choose matches. So you're going to give an expression that should look like how the expected phone number should be received. So regular expression is a subject on its own. I can teach you guys about regular expression for 1 month, every day, 30 days, because it is that wide. It is very wide, a concept to learn in few seconds. But thank God for AI. With your AI, you can simply prompt your AI and give it an instruction for it to give you the correct regular expression. So I need everybody to stay with me, please. Look at my screen. Now, I don't know, let's assume I don't know the regular expression to accept a phone number, Nigerian phone number with the country code like this. Okay, let's assume I don't know the regular expression. So I want my AI to tell me what it is. I'll come back to this. I'll come back to my browser. I'll be using Google Chrome AI mode. So I'm going to choose that Google Chrome AI mode. Then it converts to AI mode for me. And it says, hi, Nnamdi, what's on your mind? So this is the AI mode of my browser. I'm not using ChatGPT. I'm not using Claude, but I'm using Gemini AI on the browser. Okay. So once you do this, change it to AI mode, then you can ask it. You say, kindly to give me, generate the regex to ensure responders provide their email address, their phone numbers rather, their phone numbers or phone number with the country code in my Google form. For example, the number should be something like this. Then you paste your the number you have entered as a sample, and then you hit enter. So Google AI will generate the regex for you. Now it says to ensure respondents provide their phone number starting with a plus sign and the country code like the one I provided in your Google form. Use the following regular expression in response validation settings. So that's giving me this. Just copy this and copy this simple pattern. This pattern strictly requires a plus sign followed by 7 to 15 digits, the standard length for international numbers, including country code. So this one is not, it does not even restrict to only Nigeria. It allows for any phone number in different countries. But if I want it to be exactly Nigerian, I can see instruct it to give me that of Nigeria. But let's accept the one that's given to us. So I've copied this regular expression. Now I'll be back to my form. I will paste it here. So under my regular expression matches this pattern. So I've pasted the pattern here. And now that I've pasted the pattern, I can now put in a custom text. In case the person misses this one, I'll put a custom text here for the person to see, just in case they put in a wrong phone number. Now that I've done that, we can go ahead and fill the form again. So let's copy the link and try to fill the form. I'll copy the link, then I'll come to a new browser, paste the link there. Now let's try to fill the form. Especially, I'll just jump to the phone number aspect, the phone number. So here's the phone number. Say I just enter 070-1362-3317 and I click enter. You can see it will not allow me to continue. It will keep showing that red caution sign. Say, please enter your phone number with a country code, e.g. +234. So until I enter the number with +234, I can't continue filling the form. So as you can see, I've entered +234 and it allows me to continue with the next question. Otherwise, it will not allow me to continue. So this is another way to enter validation to ensure that your respondents enter a particular question in a particular order. Again, regex is not only meant for phone number. You can use regex for anything. You understand? You can use regex to ensure that people enter a certain response in a certain way to guide them. So if they don't, they will keep getting that blocker until they do the right thing before they can continue. Oh, so there are other validations. I want you guys to explore those ones. Time will not permit me to mention everything there. So you need to do some learning on your own also. I think I've shown you the basic and the most important things you need to know about Google Forms. With what you have learned, please go ahead and create fantastic survey that can be used even at a national level. So Google had done fantastic job by creating this form. Like if you want someone to answer a question that not more than exactly, Edward just said, no more than 150 words, exactly. But already, Google had already provided this restriction. When you choose short answer, well, I can't tell how many characters, but let's ask Google AI quickly to be sure of how many characters. In a Google form, how many characters one can enter with the short answer and paragraph type of question. Let's see how many characters one can enter with short answer and how many characters one can enter with paragraph. So input. So with short answer, I want to see number of characters. Where is it? It says total form limit. A single form submission is generally limited to approximately 32,000 to these characters across. No, now this is not what I wanted to give you. These are the answer I'm asking you. These are the question I'm asking you. This AI. It says short answer intended for a few words or a single sentence. Yes. So, but what's the number of characters? Intended for detailed multiple responses. This is very justice to it. So I can't tell how many characters until I do a further search, maybe using other platforms. But that already, when you start entering longer characters, it will restrict. But if you have a certain length of words or characters you want people to enter, yes, you can use regex to say, do not accept not more than 100 words. Like those forms that we usually fill online, that people say that when you're trying to enter a form, a number of words, it restricts to a certain number of words. Yes, they use regular expression to ensure that people enter certain number of words. That is one method. There are other ways to do it actually, but that is one method and one way to do that. Please, if you understand everything I have said about Google Forms, creating your form and all, adding validation and all, please, I'd like to see your reactions. So I think I have done justice to this subject matter. Let me go to my yeah. Now let's get back to business. So let's go to, if you have opened this your email that we sent you, I need to go to the curriculum. Let's see if we're still on track. From the curriculum, we said that we're going to touch on some few things. And yes, so in week 1, we were supposed to start with data analytics, which we did yesterday, and we spoke about the analytics workflow. And then you've been introduced to Google Workspace for data analytics and understanding data sets. We're going to touch on this very shortly, as well as data validation. And yes, and then we were today's session, Google Forms. I think I've done very good justice to Google Forms and smart data collection. We've learned how to design structured questionnaire for effective data collection. That is what we just covered. Then we've also learned different data types and when to use them on Google Form. I just completed data validation techniques to prevent batch data entry. Then linking Google Forms to Google Sheets. I will still talk about this very shortly, as well as bad practices for designing Google Forms. Well, we've spoken about this one. So we've covered a lot of things that we intend to cover this week. I'm left with connecting this to Google Sheets and understanding rows and columns in data sets. So I'll touch on those two last things, and then we'll draw the curtain for today's session, and I'll give you my assignment against next weekend. I hope you are still excited about this training so far, so good. And I hope it has been valuable so far, so good. You've learned a whole lot of things, right? If you have, I would like to see your favorite emoji. Okay. Thank you for the reactions, everybody. All right, beautiful. Who is giving me that surprise or confused face or sad face? Marvelous, what's going on? What's going on in your mind? What's happening? Marvelous. Do you have a question or you want me to read myself about something? Okay, let me assume Marvelous is just whining me. So let's move on to connecting, linking Google Forms to Google Sheets. So thanks to those that have filled my form. There's one more important thing I didn't mention about this Google Form. To ensure no question is left unanswered, because one of the things you're looking out for when you're collecting data is missing values. You don't want anyone to submit the form except they fill all your questions. Check this box. Do you guys see this required? Make sure this required box is turned on. For important fields, important questions. Sometimes in your survey, not all the questions are considered important for analysis sake. Those ones that are considered important, that you do not want missing values at all on those questions, ensure you turn on the required field. Example of questions that may be classified as not important is something like any other, optional, beautiful, Maru, like optional ones. Do you have any other feedback for us? That is not. I don't expect everybody to have a feedback for us. Such question, I'll leave it unrequired. But the important ones, like your first name, your number, those are must turn on those boxes. All right, so that's that. Now let me do the final thing on Google Form before we leave here, which is connecting your form to a sheet. Now, when you come to look at the top, you have question responses. So far, so good. 2 people have responded to my form on this call, Favor and Edward. I can see a summary of their responses here. I have their email address, their first name, their last name, their phone number, gender. So we have 100% gender, which means the 2 people that filled the form, they are both male. And then we have the rating. Somebody gave 3 ratings, somebody gave 5. And then we have what skill, Google Forms. So this is just a summary of the data set. Now you cannot use this part of the Google Forms data to perform further analysis or to create beautiful dashboards. So once you've collected your form, the next step is to link the form to a sheet. And thank God, Google Sheets or Google had made it something that is very easy to do. See this icon here, link to sheets. When you click on link to sheets, it gives you this pop-up, select destination for responses. Where do I want my responses to go to? Do I want my responses to be created on a new sheet, or I want it to be on an existing sheet? Of course, I want my responses to go to a new sheet. So I'll leave this option checked like this. Then I'll click on create, and then once I click on the create button, a Google Sheet will be created. And here is the Google Sheet. And the Google Sheet will have the responses that have been collected. And as people continue to fill the form, the responses will be updating here. So I will share the form again. Please, I want everybody, as many people as possible on this call, to please fill this form again. So as I'm filling it, I like us to see the way the responses will be populating on the sheet that has been connected to this. So I will stay on this sheet. So as people fill the form, just check my screen. You will see how their responses will be dropping on the form. I have shared a link to the sheet again. Go ahead and fill the form, and then you see how the form will be populating on this sheet. So this is the sheet where your data will now be storing. It will still be stored in the Google Forms, yes, quite all right, but they will also be appearing here. And from this sheet, you can then have the ability to perform further analysis, get them connected to Power BI desktop, or connected to Tableau, or connected to Google Looker Studio for database, for data visualization, or do some automation on the sheets. So all of those things we'll learn them in this training or during this training. But so far, so good. You have learned how to create a Google form to collect data from people. You have also learned how to connect your form to a sheet. So let's look at, let's watch this sheet. If anybody has filled the form, please let us know. But once you fill the form, the data will appear here. So I'm still waiting to see if anyone has filled the form. We still have 2 responses here. I'll stay on this sheet and wait for people to fill the form. So I'm giving a few seconds for people to fill the form. Please go ahead and fill the form. So we want to see your responses drop here. Okay, Anna Ruth has just filled the form. Georgina has filled the form. I hope you guys can see the way the responses are being populated now. Now, this is what is called live connection. It is, yeah, Olaode has just filled the form also. So this sheet is now connected live to that form. As people are filling the form, we are getting the responses in real time. In real time. That was exactly what happened with this training. When we sent out the form for people to fill, as you guys were filling the form, we were getting your responses in real time. We're studying all the things you feel to know, okay, who among you guys have a skill of this area and that area and this area. And again, as an undergraduate student, as a researcher, if you want to collect data and have a quick access to your data, this is a fantastic way of collecting data and connecting it to Google Sheets. Are we good? So more responses had come in. Are we good, guys? If you're good, please give me a reaction. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Tosin, please remind me, I'd like to have a group picture towards the end of today's class. I want to have good pictures every day so that we'll have something to make noise about. And although we didn't mention this at the beginning of the training, we want everybody on this call to make a lot of noise about this training. This is a way to put yourself out there for people to know, oh, this person is learning this skill. And if you're consistent in the training, after this short training, don't stop. Keep learning more, You can decide to opt in for our complete full data analytics training, a fantastic one you love, and keep documenting, posting your progress. People are noticing, and before you know it, people begin to reach out to you for gigs and opportunities. So the pictures we will take on this call, I believe some pictures have been taken. We'll be sharing those pictures on the group. People also have access to those pictures. Share them, make this about DataFight, put it on LinkedIn, tag DataFight, and we'll also engage with your post. Excuse me. That is by the way. All right, perfect. Now back to the email that was sent out. We have seen the curriculum. Next, we want to look at the data set. So let's go back to the curriculum. I want to touch on the other parts now. I want to touch on understanding data sets, rows, columns, variables, data types, and all. These are the things we will close with today's call. So to do that, I will open the database that was shared with us. This is the database. When I click on that link, it brings me here. And that's the database. All right. Now, you are you're advised to save this database in your drive. Remember, I have taught you guys how to create a folder in your drive and how to save a document in that folder. Now, for this particular curriculum that you opened, if you want to have it in your drive, okay, already it's in your drive because we sent you an email of the copy of the document. So you can move it to that particular folder that you've created while on this call. I'm going to move this one to that folder. I'll click on move. Once this dialog box pops up, I will select move on my data analytics training with Foolproof. Click on move. And then this particular PDF copy of the datafied curriculum is going to be moved into that folder. So anytime you want to have access to it, you don't have to be looking everywhere. Scatter. Just go to that folder on your drive and you can automatically have access to it. Does that make sense, guys? Please, does that make sense? Good. Now back to the database that we'll be working with on this training. So on this database, you will notice that there are people already on this particular sheet. So the first thing you want to do is to make a copy of this database so that you have a copy to yourself. How do I make a copy? I'll click on file and then I click on make a copy. When I do that, it will give me this pop-up copy of work database. So I'm going to rename this as Austin _workshop databases.xlx. This is Excel. I take it out. I don't want the XLS. I just want my title. Now it says folder, so it has already given me a suggestion of where I want to make my copy into. I don't want to make my copy into that folder. I will click on that folder that popped up. Then once it opens up, I want to move it into this folder instead. Data analytics training with Foolproof. I'll click on select. And then I will click on make a copy. So right now, in the folder that we created earlier, we not only have file could not open. Try refresh your page. Okay, that is fine. It's going to open now. So it's moving. It's moving into the folder. So in that folder, I do not only have the Google form that was created. I now have the curriculum. I now have the database in that folder. Let's check to see if that is true. This is the folder right here. No, this is not the folder. This is the folder right here. And you can see in the folder, we now have, this is the folder, right? We have the database, we have the curriculum, we have the form. We also have demo form responses, file responses folder, where all the responses of the uploaded assignment will come into, because we created a file, we added the question that has to do with file upload. So anytime anybody uploads a file to my form, it will come into this folder. You can see how it's fantastic and very good to have your files all organized in one folder. Okay, so at this point, I believe everybody now have access to the database we'll be working with in this training, and you've made a copy of your database into your folder. So the first thing I would like to do when we meet again by next week Friday is to sample people's folder. I will ask a few people to open their screen or share their screen, show me their folder, and in your folder, I expect to see your Google form, the one you've created. Of course, you're going to add more questions. I'll give you an assignment, like I said. I expect to see the curriculum in that folder in your drive. I expect to see this workshop database in that folder, okay, and any other thing that you decide to save in there. But at least I want to see those three important documents: the Google form, the curriculum for this training, and this database. These three items should be in the folder already. Okay, so now is the time for us to shift our focus from form to sheet. We'll be taking our sheet as our database. Of course, a spreadsheet is not a database, it is a spreadsheet. But it can be used as a database because the general definition of a database is any platform or any structure or anything that allows you to store data. That is what database is. So although Google Sheet is a spreadsheet package, it is not a database, it's not a traditional database, but it can be used as a database. Please don't get me wrong. Again, a database is any location that allows you to store data. That is a database, okay? There are traditional databases. We have the structured and unstructured, or we have the relational and non-relational databases. The relational databases are those that allow you to create multiple tables that are related. Okay, sorry, I'm going outside syllabus. That is for people that are going to learn about SQL. But let me just stay with you on Google Sheets. So here, Google Sheets is not a traditional database, but it can be taken as a database. Like you can use it as your own database to store your data. So we are going to be using Google Sheets as our database for this training. All right. I hope you guys understand me. Now that because we're using Google Sheets as our database, I need to properly introduce Google Sheets to us. What you're seeing on my screen is Google Sheets. And you have access to this because I shared it with you, or because DataPipe shared it with you via email. So what if you want to open a sheet from scratch? How do you access a sheet from scratch? If you're using your phone, you can access a sheet by going to Google Play Store, especially those of us using Android, like myself. Go to Google Play Store and download Sheets. You will see Sheets, S-H-E-E-T. When you download Sheets on Google Play Store, on your phone, it's going to appear as one of those apps on your phone. I don't know if you can see my phone from there. I don't think so. So you will see the Sheets. Can you see my phone from there? It's blurred. So you will see the Sheets, the sheet icon somewhere here. So you see the sheet icon somewhere there. When you download it, that's how it's going to look like. So any Google Sheets that you created in your drive, provided your email is logged into your phone, you can open it from that sheet. But on a computer, this is how to access a sheet. So I'm going to open a new tab. When I open the new tab, I'll go back to the Google Apps section here. And then once this loads, once it opens up, my network is kind of slow for some reasons. I hope you guys can hear me, Sha. Okay, you can hear me. So when it opens up, you see Sheets, just click on Sheets. Once you do this, it's going to open the Sheets homepage, just like we saw with Google Forms. So all these Google products, they work in a very similar way. Just like Google Forms, there are templates that you can choose from. Let's quickly explore the templates. We have a template of invoice. Say you want to create an invoice sheet to track invoice for your business. There's a template already for you. Just pick it and convert it to your own design. There's a template for weekly timesheets. There's a template for annual business budget, expense reports, purchase order, employee shift schedule or schedule, depending on how you want to pronounce it, customer relationship management, website page traffic reports, website traffic dashboard, analytics dashboard. So there are fantastic templates classified under work project management and personal. So these are different, even with education. So these are different templates you can pick from and use at any time. All right. And they are available for free. You don't have to pay a dime to use those templates. Again, you find a copy of, the different sheets you have created recently. So today I have created this sheet today. Yesterday I have worked on this sheet. Previously, these are different sheets that maybe not myself directly, but other people in DataPipe, because we have people working from DataPipe. Like I told you yesterday, this workspace is our company. It's like our office where everybody's working from. So you can see this one was created by me. This was created by DataPipe Consultancy, obviously my team. This was created by DataPipe Technologies. This was created by DataPipe HR, DataPipe Technologies. So because we are working from a workspace, I can see who created what file and what day they created that sheet. Okay. So, but my interest today is to go to blank sheets. Blank sheets. Now, this is, once you open a blank sheet, this is what you get. Once you open a blank sheet, this is what you get. On our first meeting day, yesterday, I said a spreadsheet package can either be Microsoft Excel or Google Sheets. These are the very common ones. There are others. There are several other spreadsheet packages, but the most common ones are Microsoft Excel and Google Sheets, especially in this part of the world. Am I communicating? So when you hear spreadsheet package, think of Microsoft Excel, think of Google Sheets. And Microsoft Excel and Google Sheets, they are very, very similar. Very similar. I mentioned it yesterday. I will show us the interface of of Google Sheets, and I will show us the interface of Microsoft Excel, and then we'll end the class today. Now, this is Google Sheets. Let me quickly introduce us to the interface of Google Sheets. Once you open Google Sheets, most times, this table suggestion will pop up, but I don't want it. I'm going to close it at least for now. I'm closing it at least for now, so that I will have enough space to talk about the different windows that are open here. Please, let's pay attention very, very closely to this part of my explanation. Just like we had for Google Forms, there is also Untitled Spreadsheet. This is a title bar. This is where you give a name to your sheet. My first sheet, my first demo sheet. So I'm calling this my first demo sheet. That's the title. So once you give it a name, it is saved to your drive automatically. You can change the location. You can store the sheet. You can check the status of the sheet in the cloud. Then there is this, there are different menus, the file menu. There are different options or commands under the file menu, the edit, the view, the insert, the format, the data, blah, 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 blah. We'll talk about some of those as you go on in the training. Then we have, this is one fantastic feature on Google Sheets that Microsoft Excel does not have, right? So this is version control. It allows you to see the different version of the sheets. So this is the current version. When I say the different version, one of the advantage of Google Sheets over Microsoft Excel is that it allows for collaboration. Right now on this call, we are about 22 of us here. We can all be on this sheet at the same time, working on the sheet at the same time. Once I invite everyone of you to join the sheet, everybody can be on the sheet, working on the sheet at the same time, and the sheet will not crash. It's going to work perfectly. Okay. So if I want to tell who did what at what time, I come to this place. Right now, this is April 18, 7:56. Current version, it's only me that have done something here. That's why you see my name here, not this sheet. But if there are multiple people on this sheet doing different work, we can always check who did what by coming here. So imagine that you are working with somebody and then you mistakenly deleted something from the sheet, and they're asking, who deleted this amount here? And nobody is saying anything, and you're quiet. Say, thank God, they will not know. Nobody saw me. They will just go there and check the version. And Google, you will see who did what on a particular set, and they can catch the person that deleted that item. So it's always good to be sincere and to be very, very open. If you make a mistake, nobody's going to kill you for making a mistake. Just say, oh, I mistakenly deleted that stuff. And then you can also, what is that English for it again? Recover. Is it recover that I want to use now? You can restore, that's the word. You can restore a previous version. If you've missed a version, you can restore to a previous version. You can do all of those here. Then this is to add comments. Now there is no comments. If I'm working, if multiple people are working and I typed favor, for instance, on this cell A1, I typed favor, and maybe somebody else, Ruth, came to my sheet and she don't know who favor is. And Ruth wants to ask me that typed in favor, please, who is favor? Ruth can come here and enter a comment. So this is the comment here. She will select the cell, then she comes here, and then she would add a comment, and this will pop up. She can tag me at Nnamdi at Datafight, or I can tag Tosin. Tosin, Toyibo Tosin. Hello, hi, please, who is favor on this cell? You know, once she does this, she say assign to Tosin and assign. As soon as Ruth enter this comments, now Ruth, this because Tosin has not been invited to this sheet before now. Google Sheet is telling me that, hey, somebody needs access to my first demo sheet. Share with them. This is Tosin. Do I want to give her a commenter access or an editor access? Do you understand? So I want to give her a commenter access. Click on comment and say share anyway. So it's giving me a prompt that, hey, the person I'm trying to invite to my sheet is an external person or is not within the Datafight. I just say share anyway. Now you can see that when Tosin comes online, she would easily see my comment because I have added her email. I have also dropped a comment for her. So she can come here. Right now the comment is not showing, but she will see this yellow icon. When she points her arrow, the comment will show. This is how powerful Google Sheets is, and it allows for collaboration. So you can drop comments and then people will begin to work in a smarter way. So this is to schedule or to initiate a call directly from Google Sheets. If you are working with multiple people and you saw something, you want to quickly have a call with someone to show them the sheet, then go there and bring the call here. People will join the call. You can share the sheet and you make all contributions and verification. Then this place is to allow you to share. I have shared only with Tosin as a commenter. If I want to add another person, somebody should drop their email on the chat, on the Google Meet chat. Let me invite you to this sheet. Just drop an email. So once you drop an email, the first email I see, I will copy and put it on the chat. And I can invite you to the sheet. So once I add your email to this sheet, you already automatically have access to the sheet. You can join me on the sheet and I will see you. And everybody can see that you are also on the sheet. I'm still waiting for the first email that will drop in. Oh, beautiful. So Fidelis email is the first. Okay, I'll copy just the first three. I'll copy Fidelis email. I'll copy the second email and then the third email. Okay, so I'll be inviting the three of you to my sheet right now. I'll paste the first one, the third one, that is the third, that is Ruth's email. I'll paste the next, that is Favor's email. I'll paste the next, that is Fidelis email. So I've pasted these three and I'm inviting the three of them as editor. You can either invite as viewer. Viewer means the person can come to my sheets. They can only view, but they cannot make. Let me also invite my professor. Thank you very much. I'm sharing your email. So they can only view, but they cannot make any edits on my sheets. That is what viewer access would do to the people I'm inviting. You can also invite commenter access. Commenter access is just to add a comment like the way I did. They can view, they can add comments, but they cannot make changes on my sheets. The highest level of permission you can give is editor. So an editor can view, editor can comment, editor can also make changes to my sheet. So I'm going to invite all of you as editors, right? Then I'll click on, so I can add a message here. Hello guys. You are all invited to my sheet to collaborate with me on this training phase. All right, let me just put in rubbish there and say, okay, thanks. Now, once I click on send, you will get this invitation. So you can see now it's saying that share, you want to share to these people or more. People are external Datafight Technologies who owns the items. This organization encourages caution when sharing externally. Share anyway. I'm the one that's inviting you. So again, because this is a workspace, like I told you guys earlier, this is Datafight workspace. We are a remote company. So people who work for Datafight, they work remotely. So that's why I'm using Google Workspace. So anytime I want to share things outside Datafight, we are very careful. Google will give us that prompt. Now I've sent you the link. all you need to do is to go to your email address and accept the invitation or come to the sheet. Now, as please, every other person, pay attention to my sheet. As they are joining the sheet, just look at the top. Look, keep your eye to this part of the sheet. You will see them come into the sheet. As they join, they will come in. I'll be seeing their icon, their DP, or their avatar. As they join the sheet, we will all see their avatar here, and we can tell who is who and who is doing what. That is, you can see Ruth is already here. I can see Ruth. My prof is already here. Professor Kende is already here. Ruth is already here. And then Ruth, you see, as they join, they will appear on the sheet. And when they make any edits, any changes to my sheet, I can tell who